Hey guys, Comic Boom here to delve into part 4 or 5 of my top 50 most sentimental comic books in my collection. These are comic books that mean the most to me, not necessarily in terms of value, although some of them do have some monetary value. Some of them are key collector books, but I would say probably the majority of them are not. They're just comic books that mean a lot to me. In the future, I'll do some top 50 that maybe cater more to the speculator market. I've been collecting for over 44 years now, whatever it is. So I do have some things in my collection that I will happily share with people. It just takes time to put them all together. In fact, you're going to find on today's video, there is one that is in storage and I just don't have the time to get it out of storage to show you. So I'll just show you a picture of it. But in any event, we will get right to it. So let's delve in parts 1 through 3, dealing from rankings number 50 down to number 20 are in 3 other videos. The links will be below this video. So in any event, let's get started. Coming in at number 19, ranked at number 19 for my most sentimental comic book in my collection is Justice League number 5, the classic Guy Gardner. Remember the one punch? One punch? Batman takes out Guy Gardner with one punch. Can you believe it? One punch. This is a classic series. You know, this is of course a story by Keith Giffen and DeMatteis is on the art. Absolutely classic series. Justice League, of course, it had Justice League International, Justice League Europe would subsequently come out. I mean, it introduced us to really the beloved characters of, or rather, I was going to say Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. Obviously, it wasn't the first appearance of those characters, but they gave us humor to those characters and helped us see those characters in a light that we never really saw before. Keith Giffen never took himself too seriously. He never took the stories that seriously. But yet they were entertaining stories. They were good stories. And check out Dave Stevens' beautiful art there beside me here in the star, huh? Isn't that good? How's that for a pleasant distraction, huh? That is on a rare variant cover, but that's a distraction. But in any event, back to number 19, Justice League number 5, classic run. It brought a joy to collecting because every time I could go and pick up and read an issue of Justice League, I was always laughing my ass off. Always laughing my ass off, whether it was Justice League or Justice League International or Justice League Europe. There's always something to laugh at. And Guy Gardner's antagonistic relationship with Batman comes to a high, an end point in this issue. And Batman knocks him out with one punch, after which it really had an influence on Guy Gardner's behavior, at least temporarily for a little bit. But in any event, I digress. If you want to find out exactly what I'm talking about, you can check out the series because it's in trade paperback form at your local comic book shop. Go check it out. But in any event, coming in at number 18 on my top most sentimental collection that I absolutely love, Civil War. Guys, I am a DC zombie. Is there such a thing? There's a Marvel zombie. I'm a DC lover. Anyways, I love DC Comics, but there's no question in my mind that the greatest comic book event of all time is Civil War. It's not Crisis on Infinite Earths. I do rank a Crisis on Infinite Earths particular issue higher than Civil War, issue 1. But there's no question that in terms of leaving a mark on the industry, Civil War is unparalleled in its perfection of capturing what you need to capture to make a big event work. It has a fantastic plot line. The story is fantastic. It is the perfect type of story. It's the type of story that you cannot write a character within the story without creating an evolving character. Character development flows naturally from the brilliant plot. Are you in favor of government registration of heroes or are you not? No, every single crossover that happened in this series, every single crossover from Spider-Man to Power Man to Captain America to Iron Man to everyone, every single character you could think of, every member of the Avengers had to make a call. Are you in favor of government registration or are you not? And if you are, why are you in favor of it? If you are not, Why aren't you in favor of it? And by doing so, by answering that question, it allowed the writers to create fantastic stories, and it forced an evolution of characters because you had to justify the choices that the characters made, and it was brilliant. Marvel has never succeeded in capturing the magic of Civil War. DC has never succeeded. I remember at the time DC came out with Infinite Crisis, which was such a disappointment. Jeff Johns did. Jeff Johns. It started off with so much potential. DC's Infinite Crisis was supposed to be what happens when there's a breakup between the breakdown of the Trinity. Wonder Woman. It reached a head when Wonder Woman snapped Maxwell Lord's neck, and that led to further fracture of the Trinity, and that led to a breakdown, led to Infinite Crisis, where the Earth 2 Superman and Superboy Prime, they had to come in to protect our world because we'd lost our way because our heroes had become too hard-edged. And in fact, rather than healing the fracture between the Trinity and dealing with the ramifications of that, all Jeff Johns did, in one of his worst, I think, writing displays in his career, he had Superboy Prime become this evil, limb-ripping idiot, terrible character, hate the character, ruin the series. The series never did heal the fracture between the Trinity. But I digress. I'm talking about Civil War, but this is how much I love DC. But unfortunately, Infinite Crisis could have been a story about character. It could have been the heroes exploring their own characters, about talking about the pillars of Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, and what they meant to the DC universe, and where they stood in terms of the fracture of the Trinity. It could have really evolved and moved the characters forward, but Jeff Johns never went that way, and instead we got the shitfest known as Superboy Prime, and it ruined the series for me, and it was okay, but it was not near as good as it could have been. Civil War made Infinite Crisis look stupid in its success, and for very good reason. It's that much better a series. And I'm a DC guy. I love DC. And I can say some nice things about Infinite Crisis, but I'm not going to. There we go. Next, number 18. Number 18 on my list is... sorry, that's number 17 on my list. Sorry. Is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. What can I say? I talked earlier on one of my previous lists, I think, ranking in it. I forget where I ranked it, but Frank Miller came in earlier on the list with Claremont, with his collaboration with Claremont on the Wolverine, the original Wolverine miniseries from Marvel in 1982. Frank Miller completely redefined Batman for a generation. We are still living with Frank Miller's Batman. We really still are in every conceivable way. I'm sorry for all this reflection here, but it can't be helped. In any event, I really wish that with all the technology, they should invent something that when it shows, it shouldn't reflect like this. It really shouldn't. Some tech guys come up with something better so this doesn't happen. It's really inexcusable. But in any event, that's me bitching. But in any event, I'm not going to say much about Frank Miller Batman DK1. It's a classic series. I got like multiple copies of this when it came out. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. That was way back in the day. I've kept them. They're all in pristine condition. I love it. Fantastic series. Thank you, Frank Miller. All right. So continuing on. Where am I at now? I don't know. I got all these things all mixed up here. Now, at number 16. Justice League of America, Grant Morrison's series of Justice League. Grant Morrison did something, and this was in January of 1997, cover date. He actually put the Justice League back on the map. I mean, because he just did it right. He made the Justice League, he focused on them because they were the big seven. They were the most powerful in the DC universe, and he brought them all back together because for so long prior to this, DC had continued to shit the bed with their crap that they were putting out with Justice League Detroit and all their garbage that they had. And just like how when Marvel finally, only temporarily, got their shit together and they came out with the New Avengers, when they finally had their most powerful people on a team, and now they don't anymore. And now Avengers, I don't know. Again, if you don't have Wolverine and Spider-Man on the same team, if you don't have your most powerful on the same team in the Marvel Universe, you're an idiot. I'm not interested in it. Goodbye. Sayonara. Dumb. Stupid decision. Your best of the best are always on the team for your universe. If you don't get that, I don't know what to tell you. In any event, Marvel did it right with New Avengers, and at least for a short period of time, they got it right. DC, for at least this period of time, got it right under Morrison. Justice League America, #1. Fantastic series. It was drawn by Howard Porter at the time. John Dell was on the colors. So many great stories came out of this. We got the Hyper Clan, I believe, in the opening issues. The Hyper Clan, in fact, even returned recently in Justice League Future State. In any event, great series. You guys got to pick it up and trade. Pick it up. Check it out. All right. Continuing on. Coming in at number 15, Camelot 3000. I chose issue 7 because this is one of my favorite covers. Camelot 3000. Brian Boland has both the cover art and the interior art by Brian Boland. Nowadays, we only see Brian Boland. Fantastic art. We only see Brian Boland's art on covers nowadays because the guy is such a legend. He's so incredible an artist. Probably my 5th favorite artist of all time. Absolutely incredible. And he does amazing interiors as well. But for whatever reason, I'm sure just because he makes more money. He makes more money doing covers. Why would he want to do interiors? I get it. But man, I wish Brian Boland could do some more covers. But this series was great. It's in the future. It's in the year 3000. And King Arthur, as prophesied, returns to Britain in its time of greatest need. And we got a return of Excalibur, and we got a return of all the previous knights of the Round Table that are reincarnated into different characters. And Sir Galahad, for example, is reincarnated into the body of a woman. That causes some complications with his lover. But history repeats itself because Lancelot, Guinevere betrays King Arthur, by being with Sir Lancelot. And this scene sort of shows it. Fantastic series. It's always in trade paperback. It's a greenback because it's that good. Pick it up, check it out. There's a reason why I love this series. I got multiple copies of all the issues. It's so great to own. And sometimes you can even still find some of these in back issue bins, dollar bins. Pick them up, guys. Well worth it. All right, coming in at number 14 is The Boys, #1. I'm not just putting this on the list here because it happens to be a great show and it's on it's on TV and it's streaming, etc., but because this really was a game changer. And again, Garth Ennis, Derek Robertson. Garth Ennis is already on my list for the Hitman. He's one of my earlier rankings. Him and John McCree did the Hitman, which is one of my favorite comic series of all time. And The Boys here is also one of my favorite. Garth Ennis doesn't exactly love superheroes. And he knows he's got a particular attitude towards superheroes that they kind of piss him off a little bit, and he puts them in their place. And The Boys allows him to explore that in all his glory. And boy, oh boy, is this, you've probably seen the TV show. That's just a hint of it. You want to know how dirty and gritty and violent it gets? You should read the series. I'm telling you, there are scenes that I can't even, I've already sworn a few times. Maybe if I does the word shit get you in trouble? I don't know. In any event, so be it if it does. I just don't care. The reality here is that this is a great series. Check it out. Lots of swears, lots of violence, lots of everything else. Enjoy it. What more can I say? All right, so now we're getting in number 13. Now, number 13 here, I've got to say, is the Ultimates. Now, out of all the top 50, this is part 4 or 5. We're doing rankings 19 to 10, and this is ranking number 13, Ultimates #1. I couldn't get this from storage. I just frankly ran out of time. It's in storage. I got my hardcover of this. I've got hardcovers of Ultimates, Ultimates 1, Ultimates 2. I got all the series of Ultimates and Ultimates 2. They're all in storage. I can't show them to you, but just because it's probably cheating because I think I'm supposed to be able to show you this to actually show you that I have it, but I can't. But just because I have failed to be able to retrieve it doesn't mean that it doesn't deserve mention, because it's a great series. Mark Millar, Brian Hitch, Andrew Curry, such a great series. This really redefined the Avengers. This really was, let's face it, this was before the MCU. This is what really made the Avengers cool. Made them, you heard me bitch before on this particular video about how unless you have your best of the best on the Avengers in the Marvel universe, it's not really a team. Well, this proves me wrong, and I often point out my hypocrisy, and I've been a hypocrite on this video, because of course Avengers can be great without Wolverine in it, without Spider-Man in it. They're the Avengers. But that's, I get to bitch and complain all I want because it's my video, and that's just how I am. I'm a hypocrite when it comes to comics, because I say one thing and then along comes a writer like Mark Millar and makes me realize that I'm a hypocrite and I was wrong, and Avengers are just cool exactly the way they are. So there you go. What the hell do I know? I know nothing, Mark Millar. Anyways, Mark Millar, man, yeah, check out. I mean, he's got a Netflix. He's got a contract with Netflix. He's got Jupiter's Legacy is playing on Netflix right now. He's written all kinds of other series, ranging Magic Order, and he's got another one that I think is going to be coming out. Good Lord, I'm drawing a blank right now, but just doesn't matter. We're talking about the Ultimates. Check out the Ultimates. And yeah, guys, that is my number 13. And so now that we're done that, we're going to get into my number 12, which is JLA Avengers number 1. But guess what? My JLA Avengers run, 1 through 4, is issues 1 and 3 were published by DC, and I think 2 and 4 were published by Marvel or something like that. It's in storage, but my hardcover is on permanent display on my bookshelf in my living room downstairs, and so I thought I'd pull this out. George Perez, I mean, the slipcase of JLA Avengers is so beautiful. Nobody draws a big scene like George Perez. He is a legend, an absolute legend. He's a living legend. He had to retire, of course, unfortunately, because his eyesight's going for him, but has gone, and he can't see as well, and it's in fact affects his ability, obviously, to draw. But wow, the omnibus, this slipcase edition of JLA Avengers, it talks about the history of. This has such a incredibly interesting history. George Perez wanted to do a Justice League Avengers crossover way back in the 80s, but he had to wait. He had to wait 20 years before Justice League, before DC and Marvel finally got their act together, and the art is absolutely fantastic. And there's a classic cover on, I think it's on issue 4, where Superman is wielding Mjolnir, the hammer, and Captain America's shield. It's fantastic. It's such a great series. And it shows how DC heroes are mythological and more godlike and loved by the people, loved by the citizens. And it shows how Marvel heroes like the Avengers, and in particular the X-Men, are looked upon somewhat cynically and not worshipped by the citizens of the Marvel universe. So writer Kurt Busiek does a really good job of juxtaposing the different incarnations and the different interpretations and the different perceptions that the citizens have in the Marvel and DC universes toward the heroes that protect them. And such a great series, and easily, I possibly could have ranked it higher, but there's a lot of competition. But in any event, that ranks in at number 12 for me. And so coming in at number 11 is, it's right over there, Superman versus Muhammad Ali. And I got this in hardcover form with Neil Adams drawing a picture for me on top. This is the hardcover of Muhammad Ali versus Superman. And this here I've had, I remember I bought this straight from the bookstore, and this is so well read. It's I gotta tell you, it's really dilapidated, but I gotta tell you, look at that. Muhammad Ali kicks the butt off Superman, knocks him out easily. Why? Because he's the greatest. He's the greatest. But of course, it was all planned because Superman needed to be knocked out so that he could get away from the influence of the Red Sun, which was taking away his powers. Because the only way that Muhammad Ali could defeat Superman was, of course, if he wasn't superpowered. And so that's what happened. And in any event, Superman defeats the aliens while Muhammad Ali defeats an alien boxer. And it was just a fantastic series. And in the background, all the famous celebrities are in the background on the cover. And on the inside cover, it shows you who all the celebrities are on the back. Well, I should show you that great thing on the back there. And then on the inside, it shows you who all the celebrities are, and it has them named. Everyone from Jack Wolfman, Frank Sinatra, Jeanette Kahn, Ron Howard, Gerald Ford, Rosalind Carter, Carrie Bates, Carl Potts, Saul Harrison, Midge Bregman, Don King, Lex Luthor, Alan Weiss, Wallace Wood, Bernie Wrightson, Emmanuel Gerard, Jerry Siegel, Joe Shuster. All of them were in the crowd here. And just a fantastic series. Such a classic. And I was so honored for Neil Adams. I think I paid $75 for this hardcover with just him drawing this image on it. To Rocky from Neil Adams. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. Classic. Fostered my love for this fantastic hobby that we're all part of. All right, so that's number 11. Coming in at number 10. Well, you know what? Am I cheating? Well, I'm gonna say number 10. Yeah, we'll do the top 9. Coming in at number 10 for this video is Fables. I chose the cover to Fables number 50 because it's the wedding between the Big Bad Wolf, Big B Wolf, and Snow White. Bill Willingham is one of my favorite writers. He's written everything from Adult Fare, Ironwood, to Fables, to Jack of Fables. Such a fantastic series. And really, he's the guy that, it really bugs me that ABC did a series on this called Once Upon a Time, and they just ripped off Fables, and they did such a shitty job on that series. They should have done this. This is the way it should be done. I wish they would do a series on Fables, TV streaming service that should do a story of Fables. The courtship between, Big B Wolf and Snow White, and then there's Red, and then there's even Snow White's sister, Red Rose, and the story of everyone from Jack Be Nimble, Jack Be Quick, Jack Jumped Over the Candlestick, Jack and the Beanstalk. Did you know all those Jacks were the same person? And that led to Jack of Fables. And that's the other series. And then there was the Cinderella series. And then there was The Fairest, another Vertigo series, all with gorgeous Adam Hughes covers. Got them all. Fantastic. And it all started with Fables. Fables number 1. Again, this is Fables 50 because I just like the cover. I chose it. Boom. Fantastic. Absolutely one of the best. Guys, that's my rankings from number 19 to 10. We're going to do the top 9. I'm going to call it the top 10. One more video to go. This is part 4 or 5. Check out my other videos. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching, and Comic Boom out.